Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your boy Mike. This is my Raptors Weekly podcast. Once again, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you make sure you subscribe. The biggest thing is you gotta subscribe. Let's get to 500 subscribers. Let's get to 10 likes. Like it, subscribe. Let's talk about the Raptors. We have a few topics to have. Of course, we have some NBA topics that I want to talk about as well. I don't know how long this is gonna go, but that's the beauty. If you're driving in your car, you can listen to it. If you're working out, you can listen to it. Sometimes I listen to podcasts when I work out. It eases my mind, and then it's funny sometimes when you talk about it. Now, in saying all that, I want to go straight to a topic that I think is going to get talked about a lot lately, especially because, I don't know. Before I even get there, see, this season or this offseason seems so weird. I don't know if it's because we haven't had basketball in it feels like we kept having basketball, I should say, for so much time. Every month we had basketball because of the pandemic, because of all this other stuff, whatever, we had basketball. This is the first real offseason where we don't really have anything. Barely the FIBA is going on because, I just watched Canada play Argentina. Shea's nice. I just throw it out there. Shea's nice. I like Nickeil Alexander-Walker too. I actually like him a lot. I wouldn't mind him on my squad. But in saying all that, there's no ball. There's no, we're not really watching anything. It seems almost boring. So that's why there's so much summer runs. We're really, for some reason, these Rico runs, which I'm going to talk about, everyone's watching them. The pro-ams have gone so much more popular. DeMar was doing pro-ams 5 years ago. He was playing in LA years ago. A bunch of players were playing in LA. But for some reason this season, it just seems a little bit more. For some reason this season, it just seems like everyone's just watching ball. Everyone's just can't wait for the season to start. Even I can't wait for the season to start. Even I'm anticipating for the season. It's weird. I have this weird feeling. I want the season to start. I want to watch the games. I can't wait to see who's going to be good. I think for the first time, well, we said even last year, but I think now we're in a new year. I would honestly say I don't know who's going to win the title. I think last week said the same thing. Golden State won, right? But no one really thought Golden State. Some people, of course, predicted it, but this is just a prediction. But this year, the Clippers are being talked about. Golden State's being talked about. Repeat. Boston, Milwaukee. Some people are still believing in Brooklyn. I may one day do a video about Brooklyn to be what are you This is where we're believing so much in something that's never happened before. We've never seen it happen. Why are we believing it today? I don't know. Kevin Durant, it sucks to say, has never led a team himself. He just hasn't. So, and Kyrie's on the team as well. We just haven't seen it happen with either guy. So we're saying too much about them. But my whole point is in talking about the params. What I actually want to get into is the injuries that are happening. I just read now that, Danilo Gallinari potentially has a torn, I don't think, they said it's not an ACL, but a ligament is hurting him. Just like how Chet, I'm not sure if I talked about Chet last time. I'm going to talk about him. I don't think I did. But the fact that he's hurt, right? He's playing for Italy to get to FIBA. This is what GMs hate. GMs, owners, they all hate it. Yeah, it's cool to have country pride to the GM. Of course, they're yeah, we want you to celebrate the country you're from. But they hate it. This type of stuff is the worst thing that can happen. Boston was a team that I honestly thought would probably have the best record in the league. Just because of the finals hangover. You're a little angry. You want to figure out how you're going to be better. They got better because they got Brogdon, who they say is going to come off the bench. They got Gallinari to come off the bench. So a scorer off the bench that they actually needed. A guy who can hit threes. Can't play a lick of defense, but he's consistent at the three-point line, and he's a good player overall. I think a lot of teams would like to have Gallinari coming your 7th, 8th man off the bench. That's not a bad thing. But he's hurt. We saw what happened to Chet. Chet's hurt. Team Canada is not going to play Shea anymore. I don't think they're playing Dort anymore. Because teams are afraid. And people kept making jokes on Twitter saying, oh, well, they're not going to make him play pro-am anymore. They're not going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's potentially true. Now, mind you, you can get injured anywhere. You can get injured in like a scrimmage run with your team. You can get injured anywhere. There's no like, there's no place to say, oh, this is where people always get injured. No, it just happened to be this year that people are getting injured. And I know some can say, well, they weren't playing before. That's why they got injured now. But the problem is that it sucks in general. And so I hope the best for Chet. I hope the best for Gallinari. But Chet's out for the whole season. OKC fans were getting excited. I was getting excited. I actually want to see him play. I think Chet's nice. I really do think Chet's nice. I think he does have the highest ceiling in his draft. He does have the highest ceiling of, like, most potential. He does. Good defender. A really good defender, actually. So now what's OKC going to do? Some are going to say they're probably going to tank. Go for Victor. Why not? Go legit have, like, a small man lineup of Victor, and I mean skinny, and Chet, right? But now Chet's not going to play no games until they may Zion this. Now that I say it out loud, they may Zion this. Chet may not play next year. They may let Chet play in 2 years. They did it with Embiid. People forget Embiid was drafted in 2014. The man didn't play until like 2016. Like, they took 2 years on Embiid. Even more, I think, they took on Embiid. Man played half the season his first year, almost won Rookie of the Year. Now, they barely play him sometimes, but my whole point is that, like, well, they do play him. They just don't consistently play him. He's not going to play 82 games. That's what I'm saying. Now, in saying all that, that's what's going to happen to Chet and Gallinari. These GMs are looking at these scrimmage runs, and they're hating it. And I don't blame them. Do you blame them? Do you blame them for, like, looking at this and going, like, damn, I don't want to play these guys no more. I don't want these guys to be playing in these pro-am games, these exhibition games, these country games. Now, you can't control what they do if they decide to, but you ask them, like, hey, like, there's $20 million on the table right now. Do you really want to ruin that by playing? This will always be a sad case of Isaiah Thomas. He shouldn't have played. He was going to get, like, a $30 million contract. He shouldn't have played. Now it's hard for him to even join a team, which I think is unfair. I think IT is good. I think the man had a really good 2 years, and people forget about that. And I know the lack of defense. But the way people hype up Trae Young, Isaiah Thomas was the same thing. I don't care what anyone says. I'll never be a big Trae Young fan. Just there's some guys in this league I'm just not. Trae Young's one of them. But it sucks to see that these guys are getting hurt because of these pro-ams. Guys are not going to be able to play all year. We won't see Chet. You know, right now, that means Pablo's odds of winning the Rookie of the Year is increased. So did Jaden. So did Keegan Murray's. And I was really looking forward to see this rookie class because there's no standout. There's no, see, Luka, no one knew Luka was going to be this generation. No one knew. But that draft ended up being really good. You know, there's certain drafts that no one really thought was going to be a superstar. Like Blake Griffin draft. That was his draft. There was no one else people were talking about but Blake Griffin. It happens to be now that Blake Griffin is probably arguably the fourth best guy off the draft, maybe fifth. But the argument would be third. Probably it goes, you know, Curry, Harden. You know, you get to argue with DeMar or Blake. You know, whose career would you rather have? Think about it. DeMar got an extra extension, blah, blah, blah. Blake Griffin was Blake Griffin at the time. In their peaks, Blake Griffin was that nice. But even with Blake Griffin, guess what happened? He also got injured the first year. And he also didn't play his first year. Right? So when these top draft picks are drafted, the worry is that you don't want to play them too much. Now the worry with Chet is that people are going to think this is Chet. Everyone said if Chet was bigger, he wouldn't get injured like this. But injuries happen. Look at Anthony Davis. Look, no one knows what the hell's happening with that. Right? So injuries happen. But it's just unfortunate that in this NBA upcoming season, we're not going to have Chet. Boston may not have Gallinari. I want to see Boston full health. I want to see every team in full health. I hate the thought of not seeing teams. Sometimes I feel like, let's just wait a freaking calendar year for every team to be healthy and just go full out. I just want to see it. I want to see every player play 82 games. I want to see the competitiveness. I want to see all that stuff. When you're seeing all these injuries, it sucks. It's hard to watch. Like, you're thinking to yourself, how good could OKC be? Like, I'm curious now. But now we won't get to see that. None of us get to see that. But let me move on to the Raptors. My team. Well, kind of the Raptors, but I want to talk about the Rico Hines runs. Which we talk about, once again, practice runs. Everyone looks good in them. Everyone looks nice. But I'm going to over-exaggerate. I have to. I have no choice. Pascal Siakam. This season, I think my love for Pascal is about to increase so much. I don't know. There's a guy on Twitter, Pascal, or a guy, I have no idea. Pascal Propaganda, they're probably number one. I may be number two very soon. Because my Pascal love is just increasing day by day. Pascal Siakam, I don't know why. I just think he's so good. I think, I've seen people talk about Pascal's game. And like I said, quite frankly, you just don't like his game. You just don't like his game. That's what it comes down to. Some people don't like the way he plays. But I don't know. When I see him almost go into his own bag, not everyone has to have a Kyrie bag, but his own bag, it's nice. And the Rico runs, I like the way he's handling it. I like the way he's, every time there's a game point, he's the one that wants to have the ball in his hands. I like that. You have to practice those, practice those decision-making skills. You have to practice those. And it's nice to see, I'm telling you guys, I'm loving it. I'm loving Pascal. I'm loving when I see him in his Rico runs. He looks nice. Sometimes he's the best player on the whole squad, Even when Trae Young was playing, I felt that Pascal was still better. And I know I could be crazy. I could be just a Raptor fan. But maybe that's the thing, right? Sometimes fans of a certain team think a certain player is really good because we're watching them all day, right? We watch them. No one else watches them. So it makes sense, like a wife or a woman you admire. The woman you admire is going to be, or the man you admire, is going to be better looking than anyone else. No matter what, because that's who you're admiring. There could be other places around looking better, whatever. But the person that you admire is the person you admire. Right now, we admire Pascal. I was never on the train of trade Pascal. I was never on that, tomfoolery that some Raptors fans are on. Or some fans are on in general. I know how good Pascal is. I know he's not mid. I know that for sure Pascal's not mid. He's a good freaking player. I just made the video about Fred VanVleet's numbers. With Fred VanVleet's numbers potentially dropping, Pascal's numbers are just going to increase. That's how I see it. Pascal's numbers are just going to increase, and I like that. I think Pascal can give us 24 a game. If he's shooting the three at a 35 to 37% rate, the man's scoring 24 points a game, 25 points a game. I think with that team, he doesn't have to score 30. So that's why I'm going to say 24. He's still got OG and Gary. You still got that, right? I don't know. These Rico runs are flipping my brain. I'm not going to lie. They're flipping my brain. These Rico runs are making me go crazy. Because I'm just thinking, Pascal, when he sees a matchup, he likes... Pascal got stronger. His post moves are better. Of course, he's still doing his same normal thing, but if this spin move was so annoying or it's such a bad move, then it should be stopped more. For some reason, no one can stop his spin move. So why not keep doing it? Why not keep doing it if no one's stopping it? Kareem had one special move Kareem had. Kareem had no bag. He's the all-time leading scorer. Hakeem Olajuwon had the dream shake. Shaq just posted you and dominated you. Dwight Howard, to me, is a Hall of Famer. I don't know why anyone... You just don't like the guy, and it's I guess he had 10 kids or something, but that's not the point. Dwight Howard's a really good player, or was a really good player at the time. Pascal, these guys are Hall of Famers. I know Pascal's not there yet. I know that. I definitely know that. If Pascal wins another title, hey, we gotta talk about it. I'm just saying. The NBA Hall of Fame is a little bit easier. Gotta talk about it. But that's just my love for Pascal. I can't divulge how much I generally enjoy Pascal Siakam's game. Watching these Rico runs make me generally enjoy it. That's my Pascal love. I probably will talk more, but who knows? Now, overall, my Rico runs. What I like, or what I'm seeing, I like to see Delano Banton. I like the way he's driving into the lane. I like sometimes the poise he has. He doesn't seem like he's not in the moment. I like that. Of course, he's frantic. I know it seems weird to say he's poised and frantic, but he's. I think he's better. I think he's more controlled, I should say. Like Russell Westbrook is frantic, but he's very still poised. He still understands the moment. Even if when he misses shots and people diss him, whatever. If you think Russell Westbrook isn't one of the smarter players in the league, you're crazy. People can diss him and say his IQ, yes, and comparable to LeBron, his IQ is lower, of course. Right? If we're just comparing to some, come on, Russell Westbrook is still a pretty good player. Let's not forget that. That's with Donald Banton. I see it. Like when I see Donald Banton, the player comp that I have in my brain is Sean Livingston, and it could be because lanky, has ability to go into the lane, long defender, can go end to end pretty quickly. Like a young Sean Livingston was nice. If he didn't get that horrible injury, we'd be talking about him a little bit more. Still a 2-time NBA champion. I believe he's running the front office right now of some team. I don't know. It could be the worst. Now, in saying all that, he is not he's not the best Raptor. And I'm saying when you look at these runs, you're looking at certain aspects of it, right? So Banton has been playing well. Precious just came. And I say this, and I hope it's understandable what I'm saying. When he dribbles the ball, or when Precious is playing, it seems more natural than Pascal. I hope I'm making sense when I say that. It seems more natural when Precious is playing. It just seems natural. He's so gifted. Precious is gifted. Precious is super gifted. Precious, to me, and once again, I love Pascal when I say this, I can see Precious's ceiling higher than Pascal's ceiling. Precious is younger. He's not a great ball handler, but that's the point of growth and getting better. The way he shoots seems very promising, consistent, good form. I see a lot in Precious. I really do. That's why sometimes I think to myself, you know what? Is Precious a 5? I'm arguing with myself now. Precious may not be he's a small ball 5, but he may be an actual power forward. He may generally be a power forward. I don't know if he's working on a post move or a mid-range shot consistently. I think they want him to be like a 3-and-D center. So that's I think what Nick Nurse's aspirations are, or the team's aspirations are, of Precious Achiuwa. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I see a 3-and-D center in Precious. I don't think we should see that. I think we should, whatever happens. But I'm thinking more and more he's not a power forward. Precious is not a power forward to me. I'm starting to realizing it more and more. Or that he's not a center. Maybe we should get a big. Maybe we should. And I just made a video saying we shouldn't. But I don't know. There's no one in the league. There's only one Joel Embiid. There's only one Jokic. You can play Precious with Rudy. Rudy has no post bag, so it is what it is. You're fine there. Another player that I'm actually very impressed with, and I would say this player I'm arguably the most impressed with, DJ Wilson. Now, why I say that is because I didn't have any expectations. None. But I find DJ Wilson to be pretty consistent with the 3. I find him to be energized, ready to go, always running. Finishes well at the rim. Has a little bit of a handle on him. All I'm saying is my expectations of him were low, and now they're higher now. And what I really like overall, this is pretty much a Raptors run, honestly, with a few NBA players here and there and some UCLA players. What I like is that they're all together. I think that builds such good team camaraderie. We don't get to see Fred a lot. Fred's the only man I could think about that on the team They're probably most likely someone else that has a kid. Of course, dad has a kid. But like, yeah, like a lot of the younger guys, Fred has a child, so like children, so he's probably doing dad duties all the time while still working on his game. He has to probably privately, not during these runs. But I like seeing these guys all together. It builds good teamwork. It builds what we're looking for. You know, when a team has good teamwork, like they have a higher chance of making it to the finals. People think, of course, some teams are built, whatever. But at the end of the day, the core of the Raptors when they won the title was still Kyle. Fred was there, Pascal, Norm, OG. You know, they were all still kind of there. They just kind of swapped one guy with another. Then they swapped another guy in JV and Marc Gasol. Everyone else was like interchangeable, ultimately speaking. Lakers they just had two really good players in AD and LeBron. But LeBron did whatever he could to make sure that the team liked each other. LeBron's a smart guy. He took those guys out to eat consistently. Bowling, texts them, all this stuff. Them adding Patrick Beverley is smart. Patrick Beverley was going to do the same damn thing. He's going to do the same thing. Should I even talk about that? Maybe I should. Who knows? But another guy who I actually been liking during the runs is Chris Boucher. Maybe he's just becoming more free and he's not actually going to do that during game, but he looks more free. I don't know how else to describe it. He looks more loose. And when everyone looks loose, it's better. And of course, this is just an open run. So everyone's probably going to look better than they are. But he looks more loose. He looks more like he's gearing up for a good season. Chris Boucher probably going to play 20 minutes a game. He probably can get like 10 points. Like he can get like 6 rebounds. That's a pretty good. Hit the 3. 35 to 4. I would like for Chris Boucher to be 40% because if you're off the bench, I want you to be like 40% 3-point shooter. But Chris Boucher has been really good during the runs. You can see him like he's doing a lot of handling of the ball. Don't know what that is. Hope that doesn't happen a lot. He's not that guy. But I still like him what I'm seeing overall. You know. So like I say, Precious, DJ Wilson's probably the most impressive person. And Chris I really like. Now, of course, there's my boy Malachi. I like Malachi. I'm always going to like Malachi. I'm very curious what's the season. I've talked about Malachi so much already this season. I'm probably going to talk about it more. Like I said in my other video, for some reason, Malachi and Jalen Harris have been the most interesting guys this whole offseason. And it doesn't make sense. Oh, interesting. Koloko. He got signed. Congrats. Shout out to him. It's really the whole league was waiting for Durant. That's what really it looked like. The whole league was waiting for Durant. It truly looks like that now. I didn't know that. The whole league was going to wait for Durant like this. But the whole league was waiting for Durant to make his decision. That's mind-boggling. The whole league was waiting for this guy. I don't think he really took that in. Now, my next topic that I want to talk about, shout out to the Rico runs. Shout out to the Raptors for being consistent. Day in, day out, going into those runs. Like, there's Raptors. Raptors are there. Raptors are there. Now, I didn't think I was going to do this, but I did expectations of Scotty, and I did one of Fred. So I may just do a series of my expectations for some players. I'm not going to do all the players, but some players on the squad. Now, what I want to talk about is something, sometimes I just want to get things off my chest. I want to get this one off my chest. I'm not coming after anyone. I'm not saying anything about anyone. I'm just saying. I just want to say it. Yuta Watanabe. Why? This is so random. This is extremely random. But I thought about it randomly, so I had to talk about it randomly. I know a lot of people, back in the day wanted Yuta to play more. They wanted to see what he could do. Here's the thing. Raptor fans liked Yuta. I hope people understood that Yuta didn't do shit for the Raptors. Stop that shit. Please stop. Stop. I know you like him, but he didn't do shit for the Raptors. He didn't, if he did so much, we would have signed him. That's one. And if anything, Masai is willing to sign players. He's willing to keep players. The one thing the man is willing to do is keep players. I like that young. I really like that young. But do I really think the Raptors should have kept that young? In the grand scheme of what you're trying to build for the future? Maybe not. But he signed a great contract. He really did. But I'm talking more did you want to go younger? You kind of stayed older. Like, you know what I'm saying? In that sense. Still like the signing overall. I don't hate the signing. I'm just saying in general, for the journey of the team, what were you going for? Now, in saying that, going back to Yuta. Yuta was supposed to be our 3-and-D guy, right? We saw what he did in the bubble. We liked it. We know he's actually a really good defender. I think people probably think he's not a good defender, obviously for racist reasons. Let's keep it 100. It's racist. I don't think Yuta's a good defender. But he's actually a really good defender. I like that he goes up for blocks, and, Anthony Edwards dunked on him, but I like the fact that he went for it. I appreciate that stuff. Who cares about the camera? It can be a person who's been blocked on, but we're not kids. This is a professional game. The next series has to go on. No one's going to start waving your head down and patting your head. It's not like that. You keep the ball moving. At the end of the day, it's about winning titles. But Yuta wasn't that person that's going to win you a title. People are like, oh, why is Yuta not signed? I literally watched the video and someone's like, why haven't they signed Yuta yet? And I'm thinking to myself, I felt like throwing tomatoes at my TV. Should I throw tomatoes at my TV for this dumbness? Why did we sign Yuta? We got Otto Porter, who's of what you want Yuta to be. But he wasn't like that. Yuta just wasn't that good. And mind you, like I said, I like Yuta. What Yuta flashes, like he flashes an NBA player. He flashes an NBA player. But when he was not consistent in the three. I think his 3-point percentage was actually good, so to speak. But when you're watching the game, forget the analytics. Just look at the game. You're like, Yuta's not doing much for you. Defensively, yes, he's good. But he's not doing much for you. Chris Boucher is hitting a 3. Thad is doing, Marc Gasol type things, like organizing the team type things on the court. You can see what everyone's doing. That's why sometimes I didn't like when Norm was on. And Norm's probably my top 5 favorite players on the Raptors of all time. I've made so much videos. I love Norm. But I didn't like that Norm was just sitting on the corner all the time. And I don't even like that type of game. I like movement. Like, when people just sit on the corner, unless it's like seconds to go, you want to kind of space it out. I ultimately like movement. Even with, like, finding shooters or whatever, I like move around. Like, let everyone, like Klay Thompson, Steph, they all move around. Draymond says will be at the corner, but sometimes Draymond will be at the top of the key. Like, he's everywhere, 3-point line doesn't matter. He's everywhere. And that's what I think, the best versions of teams are. But Yuta would move around, but still not do anything with the ball. And when he had the ball and had the opportunity, he still didn't do anything. So my thing is, we can like players, and the Raptors tend to like a lot of their players. We want to keep everyone. Right now, I want to keep Jalen Harris. Right now, the scapegoat for the Raptor fans is Malachi Flynn. I like Malachi. He actually has quality, but he could be in that same boat that when he's on the court, he's not doing shit. Now, it's up to them to be played better. It's up to them. They know that. They're really good players. All these NBA players are good players. Let's forget that. They're all good players. But we can't keep a guy because we like him. That's number one. We cannot keep a guy because we like him. We must understand that Yuta didn't give the best version of himself to the Raptors. So we can't give a contract to him. Now, if this is all about vibes and feeling good, then of course you keep him. But it's not about vibes. It's about winning games, about winning titles. And Yuta didn't do that for you. I don't know. I just randomly thought about it. I randomly want to talk about that. Before I go, I want to talk about that Patrick Beverley signing for the Lakers. I actually love the signing. I actually wanted the Raptors to go after Patrick Beverley. I'm going to keep it 100. I wanted the Raptors to go for Patrick Beverley because of the fact that he's a leader and he's a dog. And I think every team needs a dog. Every team needs a Patrick Beverley. We can all deny it as much as we want to. Every team needs a Patrick Beverley. Just needs it. He made Minnesota believe. He made Cat, Anthony Edwards, into playoff contenders. They were a good team anyway. But if you think Patrick Beverley didn't play a huge role in that, Yeah, he's annoying. He's stupidly annoying. Stupidly annoying. But that's how he made it. That's how he made it. He made it doing that. Draymond did the same thing. I think every team needs that guy who's willing to, like, fight a ref. Who's willing to be suspended. I think that's good. Someone who's not going to take any bull. One of the reasons why we liked who? Kyle Lowry. You knew he wasn't taking no bullshit. You knew he was going to fight people. He told Aaron Gordon his room number in the bubble. Like 2944. The man said, come, you know where I am. When him and, was it Aaron Gordon again? Who was it? It was Ben Simmons. And he pointed at the back. He said, come to the back. Let's go. And then he ran to the back. Say, let's come. When Miami wanted to fight Jokic, they all waited, which is hilarious still to think about. Right? They were waiting. Because Kyle's a dog. Kyle's a dog. The whole Miami team is a dog. The reason why Miami was so good is because they're dogs. They're all dogs. It's not the Heat. The Heat culture is just being tough. Pat Riley knows how to be tough. His Lakers teams were tough. I think did he not coach the Knicks once? I swear he coached the Knicks and they were like pretty rough. But that's my point. Like, that's what you have to have. So I like the thing for the Lakers. Now, I'll probably make a video about the Lakers and I don't know about their rotation because I don't know how they're going to do all this. As long as you have AD and LeBron, you should be okay. To this day, as long as you have those two guys, you're fine. Everyone's like, oh, Russell Westbrook's going to get traded. This is a sign. You brought his worst enemy. Probably did. If Russell doesn't like him, then he's like not going to want to play with him. Let's be honest. But I'm hoping they can move past it because I think they'll still be better for it. I think if your closing lineup is like a Patrick Beverly, or Russell Westbrook, insert fifth player, and then LeBron and AD, that's not bad. Because you still have LeBron and AD. No matter what, LeBron and AD they're gonna make the shots, What I like about it for Utah is you're gonna trade Donovan Mitchell eventually. Mind you, my second favorite team is Utah. And I want them to trade him. But I don't want to trade Donovan Mitchell for nothing. I want him to trade for RJ Barrett. Trade it for RJ Barrett. Don't trade him for nothing. Don't trade him for draft picks. Please stop that mediocre, dumb shit. We were lucky to get, after losing Gordon Hayward, get Donovan Mitchell. We're lucky. Stop that. Don't do that. We trade them for RJ Barrett. He's 21. Oh, we have to sign him. Okay. You don't have any, you're not going to have cap space anyway. Like, you're not have cap space anyway. You're training, you trade Gobert. Like, you're fine. You're going to have the space. But for Utah getting Taylor Horton-Tucker, it's good that once again, one of those players that got really boosted for playing for the Lakers. Now, recently, that kind of thing doesn't really happen because Ingram was good, Lonzo's good, Kuzma's good, Larry Nance is good. So, like, they had a lot of good players actually come out. Caruso, like, they had a lot of good players. So I'm not even going to say that they weren't good. They're actually really good. Which leads me to more saying that I think it's a fair trade. I think what Taylor Horton-Tucker was doing for the Lakers was not much. So adding Patrick Beverly, who's going to do a lot for the team, is good. It helps the Lakers out. I think for Utah, just getting a younger player is better. That's it. That's what it comes down to. They got a young player, see what they have in him, and they go from there. He has, 2 more years in his contract? You have to pay somebody. You pay him, get your number 1 overall pick, try to get Victor. Or I forgot the second overall pick name, but there's a few guys that you can get. The following year, there's some guys. Get somebody. Maybe get Bronny James. Maybe LeBron will come to Utah. You never know. But that's it for me. That's all I have to talk about today. Make sure you like and subscribe. I may do another podcast this week. Maybe something comes up. I may talk about it. Who knows? Make sure you like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys soon. The road to 500 is near.